Well, I think that one word just says it all. It has been said a lot before in the manga, but at the same time, I cannot help but think that you just need to hear that one meaning or whatever in order for you to think back and see, yes, that's what I really wanted to do. Or maybe this is a way of us saying that in real life, I feel there's no real way to cook food because there could be many different. But I think this is a way of saying again, again, again that Asami's teaching is not right. In Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 170, as Soma serves his Yukihara-style fried egg don to Erina. Of course, Erina is skeptical because, well, Erina is Erina, but also because apparently Soma has fried eggs, which he did, by the way, on a car coil, and that shouldn't actually be possible. But it's the egg is perfectly cooked. As Soma acts a little bit relaxed, that is one of the things that Erina is always so frustrated with Soma with. I mean, I can say what I want about Erina, but every time she feels frustrated for Soma's cockiness or whatever, it's almost so adorable to see her so frustrated, because that confirms indeed that the proud and strong Ojo has nothing on someone so relaxed like this. The reason why Soma done that is because he did something unique. He has apparently a freezer in his room, and he has frozen a lot of eggs that Ryoko remembers that he bought. They didn't know he froze the eggs, but he did. Doing that, they can hold on longer than when they were not frozen. And also, it's easier the way to cook it, and after it removes the shells. I mean, I've never really thought of that. I mean, you can freeze practically anything, but I never thought of freezing eggs. Moreover, how can you even remove the shell after that? But I guess that's another thing. Of course, Irina is skeptical about this dish because it's not so high-end quality. It's during this time that Ryoko mentions that Soma bought many eggs. And we all know Soma. He can turn the cheapest ingredient into a gourmet food. And in a way, when he bought those eggs, they were pretty cheap. So Erina takes a bite, and of course gets a very powerful food gasm. Finally, we get to see a nude female body. It was about time. Her skin, if it weren't for the black and white pages, her skin could almost be seen so white, pure, silky and beautiful. But we can definitely see that her breasts are very large. Alright, enough about that. And so she wonders where this delicate, deep flavor comes from. And it turns out that Soma's discovered that if you freeze the egg, the rich taste of the yellow evolves. And that's the reason for the eggs, because the egg's protein turns into a yellow-like structure. Because of that, it becomes chewy and round as well as creamy. That's why the rich. That's why the flavor becomes more rich. And he also then made some kind of sweet and spicy sauce made by cooking wine and soy sauce. But he also mentions that if you use a high-grade egg, the don will become taste too. But for Soma, it's way better to use a bland egg, seeing that's actually quite cheap too. It's during this time that Erina says that Soma likes to use eggs a lot. He used the eggs during the first time they met, and now he's using egg again. I wouldn't really say he has used eggs that much, but He did use that because, well, so we all know that what his father and Fumio's son always call Soma. They call Soma the ultimate sore loser, and in a way, this is also really sore losing because he just cannot accept one thing. Then again, it wasn't really accepting. Erina was pretty bitchy. The way he says, doesn't it seem like the perfect cooking that ties the knot of our fate? It's both heartwarming and awesome, but in a way it also sounds a little bit sore losing. Because, well, he just had to do the one thing that tied their fates together. But in a way, maybe this is not meant to be sounded so sore losing. I think this is just a way for Soma to be that just kind. I mean, Soma's personality is sometimes mysterious, but then again, it's not that mysterious. It's during this time that Irina finally asks that one question. Uh, how is he able to find out all of this? Because she hasn't heard of it. Soma just answered with that one word, because it's more interesting like this. It's his own personal opinion, but for him, guys who only know one answer won't be able to reach greater heights. That's the words that he's speaking of us. And that is the theme of this manga that says it is true. In real life, I don't know. I mean, I'm certain you can reach greater heights with your gourmet cooking through experimentation. But then again, humanity have become one-track mind, so I don't know anything about this. But this manga, we all know the secret of delicious cooking. That's love and experimentation. And Soma channels experimentation. Because for him, it doesn't matter if it's a failure or a good one. He will turn that failure tasty, because he will reach greater heights. And it turns out that Erina did have a talk with Yoshiro where he said the same thing, but her father's cooking made her forget. But remembering those words, she remembers when she asked, how did you turn it so good from the beginning? Almost like it's novelty-like. And it turns out that Yoshiro, even back then, was, well, of course he was back then. He was pretty strange, even as a young kid. But the way he actually says, wherever I taste the food out, news is half the time and failure the other half. I haven't used, even today, I used your grandpa to test numerous dishes. You're telling me he made the food demon king? Wait, he was called the food demon king, wasn't he? Well, are you telling me he made the main man of the Night Kitty family taste his dishes? Man, that Yojiro has balls. But in the end, he answers the same thing Soma says today, 10 years later. Knowing what you can done ahead of time isn't fun at all. And with that, she eats with good appetite, and remembers she always wanted to make a dish like this. She of course doesn't say the words in this cliffhanger, it was delicious, but then again, I think we can take that eating without stopping with tears in her eyes, remembering the fact that she always wanted to make another dish like this. I think we can take all of that as, yes, it was delicious. Soma's first goal has been accomplished. It's not his end goal, but his first goal is accomplished. Then again, this is Erina, so maybe she will act a little bit tsundere and say, I never said it was delicious. But nah, she had that wonderful flashback. Maybe it's finally hit. But then again, so it was actually it was a simple chapter. But I guess I didn't really summarize it to be that simple. So what can we expect? What can we actually say now? Again, I strongly believe in this manga, and I stand by those feeling very much. Like cooking without love and without experimentation does not make them good. You can make all kinds of good food, but in the way Soma's and Megami's philosophies are the real true ones, according to me, in this manga at least. And for Soma, it doesn't and for the Yukihara family, maybe we should say, it doesn't matter if it's a failure. They will turn a failure tasty. And that's what they did right here. For Soma, it having one track mind is not good enough. He doesn't feel that's the real way he should cook. And that's also one of the reasons why he is talking against Asami's rule, because Asami only want to make one track mind that Asami want to make. Yukihara may wanna experimentation every single time, but they take others' cookings and evolve them through test, creativity, and failures. And then again, they create a very awesome, almost novel-like food, because the creativity they have done, it's almost unlike any other's food ever. So yeah, what's gonna happen now? Are Arena gonna say it's tasty in the next chapter? Will they finally fight back against Asami? Please tell me yes. Please allow them to fight back. Now that Arena knows that she wanted to make this food, I think she is in the first step of being truly saved. So what do you think? Give me your thoughts if you have any.